Okay, so I'm going to be making a panna cotta today, which kind of gets a bad rep for being difficult, but it's actually pretty simple. And I'm going to make a slight twist to it and add some wasabi into it. So here I already added 100 milliliters of heavy cream and 200 milliliters of milk, and that's just going to go into the pot. And now we add 30 grams of sugar. And we can set these aside. And now I already put 1 packet of gelatin, and to that you're going to add 2 tablespoons of water. I just added the water into the gelatin, and now you just mix it up a little bit. And right now it's kind of jelly-like, but after a little while, just let it rest for about 5 to 10 minutes. It will begin to harden. Now while you're waiting for this to settle, you're going to put the milk onto the stove and just put it on low heat. Now you have to keep watch of this or else it will boil over. Okay. Just heat until there's bubbles on the side. Mix. See, you can still see the sugar on the bottom. You need to wait until all the sugar is dissolved, and that's when you can take it off the stove. So as you can see, there's a little bit of bubbles on the side now, and when you go in, there's no sugar left, so you can take it off the stove now. Okay, so now that it's finished cooking, we're going to take it off the stove and let it cool on the side while we mix in some of the wasabi. So I'm just using some wasabi paste, but it can be any kind of wasabi. And then to that, I added about a teaspoon of hot water, and I used about like 3 squirts, depending on how spicy you like it. Now you just mix that all in with the water to help dilute it. So once you've got most of it mixed up, it will have a very strong smell to it. And then when you get it to this kind of consistency, you can add it to your milk mixture. Then mix it into the milk. And then with that, you add in the gelatin as well as it's rehydrated, so it should be a little bit solid and coming together. Pop that in, and you try to kind of just break it up a little bit since it's hot. And just keep mixing until it's broken up. I'm going to try a little bit of it right now. Now I think it's perfectly fine right now, but I do like things with a little bit more spice, so I'm going to be adding another little squirt of wasabi into the mix. Okay. Yes, I think now it's just hitting it just right. Now we're going to separate them into some small bowls and let them cool. Okay. So there's a few ways you can get these cool. You can pour them into some molds or bowls and put it directly in the fridge. But what I like to do is I like to put it into an ice water bath first for about an hour or so, and then put it into the fridge. So with that, we're going to add into a tray, and then put in some cold water. can fill up some of our bowls. Now with these bowls, you can either eat directly or you can get some gelatin molds like these. Okay, so now we're going to go check back on the panna cottas, and we're going to use the back of a spoon and just gently pat it. There's nothing, since it's still, you can see it has a little bit of a bounce, so that means we're ready to put them in the fridge. Now the panna cottas have cooled, and just taking them out of the fridge, and see they've solidified. There's a little bit of jelly-like texture. Okay, and now mostly for decoration, but you can cut up some strawberries or whatever fruit you would prefer. I personally believe that the strawberries are a little bit lighter in flavor and they don't overpower the flavor of the wasabi. So put that to the side and cut up another one. You don't want to cut it too thick because it's going to be hard to separate, and you don't want to cut all the way to the bottom of the strawberry either. The molds, and you want to kind of pull panna cotta away from the mold. Place it into the center of the plate. And then release the mold. Tap it. You might need to tap it a few times before it can come out. And one of your previously cut strawberries and spread them out. Like so. Do the same for the other. Spread them out. Take the last strawberry and spread it out again. And place it in the last corner. Now you can enjoy some of their wasabi panna cotta with some strawberries.